So welcome back to the Language of series. My name is Amy Lancy. In case this is the first time you are tuning in, I am the owner and founder of Untold Story Enterprises. I'm a communication consultant and I love helping business owners speak their audience's language. And the reason why I put together the series is because languages exist all around us. And it's not just based off of country or ethnicity even. It's based off of experience, expertise, industry, and yes, community. And so my hope with this series is that if we can just see how many languages are really around us, then that probably would help us communicate with each other better and more clearly. So today we are talking about the language of food, and we can go in so many different directions because who doesn't love food? I mean, really. And I have my beautiful friends, Queen Precious Jewel and Jay White from Indulge Catering LLC. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here. Yay!
Nope.
And please introduce. Yay! And please just tell the audience about yourselves.
Oh, wow. Okay. So briefly, my name is Queen Precious Jewel. I know, right? Briefly for me. Whoa. My name is Queen Precious Jewel Zabriskie-White. I am the executive chef, founder, co-owner, CEO, visionary of Indulge Catering LLC, as well as the founder of Indulge Essential Spices. And this is
Jay Zabriskie-White, and I'm the sous chef of Indulge Catering, also the CEO of Indulge Catering, and co-founder of Indulgent Essential Spices.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
And we're from Carolina.
from North Carolina.
Yes, and we're a full service catering company.
As well as spice purveyors. So I'm from the Bronx, New York. So I take my love of cooking and all things food, all different types of food, and we really bring that into our business to help elevate the palate of our clients and reintroduce them actually to their palate. So doing what we call indulgent flavor bombs. So it's just a marriage of good stuff, good eats to make you go, what was that? You know.
And I've had the pleasure of having their food, and
Yes.
I really miss it. I haven't had it in so long.
We miss
Because I'm in all the way in California, so it's not like
Yes.
I can just knock on your door. But yeah.
Yes. Before COVID, we
But
had
yeah, it's not like I
big
can knock on
plans.
your door.
Yeah, we had big
What?
plans for the
Oh,
West Coast. We had big plans for the West
oh
Coast before
my gosh.
Yes.
we were
Yes.
We're supposed to be
back there
there
like
several times.
several times. Yes.
But it's coming. It's coming. All in due time. All in due time.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. It's gonna come. It's gonna
Yeah.
come. So I met these wonderful ladies through our friend Latanya,
Yes.
and it's just I laugh only because there's just been so much laughter on our journey. It's like we went from, they went to an event that I was doing with Latanya, and
Yes.
then, before they became caterers for at least a couple of our events. They came to California to
Yeah.
cater for an event for us there, and wow, we just made history. So it was
Yes.
so cool, and I
Yes.
couldn't think of anyone better to talk about the language of food with us. So
Because we
so
We know.
ladies, I know we have a little bit of a delay here, everyone.
Oh, you're fine.
But sorry, I was gonna ask, starting to dive into the language of food is,
Yes.
from your standpoint, aside from survival, because we need food to survive, why do you think food has a special place in people's hearts? Why does food have a special place in your heart? So those are
Mm.
two different questions.
No, that's that.
And one.
So food for me is more than survival. So I'm a bariatric patient. So I've had weight loss surgery. I've lost 150 pounds, and I have a food addiction. So that's the best way to put it. So food for me became my comfort to help me deal with a lot of different stressors, a lot of different um, um, traumatic stuff in my life. So food for
Yeah.
me was my comfort to hide.
Mhm.
But also food for me is a reminiscence of my past. It's a way that I connect with my ancestors, my grandmother who's no longer with us, and
Mm.
food for the African American community as well as other communities, but really for the African American community is a sense of family. It was the one time that we really got around the table and talked about how was your day, especially if you had parents who worked second shift, third shift. That food, that one meal at the table was the time to catch up about school, work, everything of that nature. And that's
Mhm.
why we are so committed to food. Um, but that's why I also am committed to food being an experience. Because for me, food is more than just survival, it's an experience. I
Mhm.
want you to be able to taste your food. One of the things that was my success with weight loss surgery was when I came to terms with the fact that I wasn't going to be able to eat bland, boiled, no flavor food, which is what they tell you to do to succeed. They say drink the broth. And I was like, but what's in the broth? And they're like, just boil the chicken and skim off the fat and just drink the water. And I'm like, no, you can't do that.
That's tragedy.
Like, and so, you know, food has a different, I have a love for food, but I have a respect for food. So, and I have a respect for the nourishments that food gives you. And so once you have moved to that language of food and really respecting food, you
Yeah.
begin to have a different relationship with food. And that's just me personally. What about you, Jay?
For me, food is a sense of community. Um, I know in our household, in our family, like when you break bread with someone, you're sitting down, you're swapping energy, you're swapping laughs and stories
Yeah.
over food, over good food, right?
Yes.
Whether we cooked it or not, right?
Yeah.
But it's like it's all love. And for me personally, food is like my love language. Like I love food. I
Mhm.
love for Precious Jewel to cook for me, or I like going and getting now in this world curbside from a good restaurant. But food makes me happy. Oh my gosh,
Food makes her
food
so
makes
happy.
me happy. And Amy, do not mess up my food
Oh,
because do not mess my food up or my wife's food. Like if you mess my wife's food up, like oh,
comedy.
it burns me. It
Like,
burns.
we've been to restaurants and he orders something, and because I'm so particular, I can't have so many things because of the
Yes.
surgery. Her
Uh-huh.
food will come out pristine with a gold plate and platter on it.
Yes.
And my food would be something wrong, and she'd be like, "We're leaving.
Don't
We're,
want
we're
it.
leaving. We're leaving." Because people don't understand how serious food is her love language. And like
Mhm.
even now, we've been together 13,
Girl, you better put 14 on that.
14.
Yes.
Together
Next month.
That's
I
what
give it to you.
14 thank you. 10 years. And we've been married for almost 10 years.
Mhm.
And it's comedy because there's still stuff that I cook for her that I didn't know she liked, that I didn't even recognize I still
Mm.
cook for her. So it's us reintroducing each other to the language of love and the language of food.
Right.
Anyway,
Oh,
Let me
wow.
tell you a quick story because I know we're on a timeline, right? But you know, we
Go
can
for
talk,
it. I
right?
know we can talk forever.
okay.
We go on, go for it.
So this weekend, Precious Joy, I said, what do you want to eat? And she said, can you make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Right. And in our household, we make our own peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because you have to
Ooh,
have the right ratio.
We are
You have
very
to
snobs when it comes to
when it
peanut
comes to
butter and
peanut butter and
jelly.
jelly sandwich. So we make our own, right? So she asked me to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I was like, nope, I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up because if I do it perfectly,
It's
then
her job now.
exactly, I have to always make her peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And Amy, I'm not about that life.
Yes.
I'm not about that life, Amy.
True
But,
confessions.
Now, she did it
I
perfectly.
did it
She did
perfectly.
it
Like,
perfectly. Like, she was so scared and trying to mess it up. She messed it up perfectly. So it was perfect. And I was like, you messed up.
no, listen, I was trying to make it perfect. In my head, I wanted to mess it up because I knew what the outcome would be. But it's crazy, so I had to make it. So time she asked me in the future, I'm just gonna refuse.
Mm-mm.
Wow. See, I love how it's not even just it's not even just about the sandwich and the act of making the sandwich. It's more about you making the sandwich in a specific way that gives off a certain message to your
Yes.
partner
Yes.
and what the
Yes.
repercussions will be depending on your partner's judgment and your performance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Like people fail to realize that the language of food
Yeah.
is so spiritual, it's so deep. Like you have to be in the right mindset to make food. Like we have done events and my staff is not in the right energy and I feel the energy off and I tell them go home. Nope, go home.
Mhm.
Because food is such an experience and we want you to have that experience that if your energy is off, stop. Even if at
Yes.
home
Yep.
and you're cooking and your
Yes.
energy is off, you just finished getting off a horrible argument, you're rushing, take a moment and breathe because
Right.
whatever you produce in that pot will feel your energy. We so firmly believe that. So
Oh
pause.
yeah.
If the kids are making you mad, the boss made you mad, you just mad, you stub your toe, stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just gonna infuse into everything else, right? You're gonna like be rude to somebody or just be really sad or
Yes,
you're going to make mistakes and become forgetful or
yes,
it's just gonna just the whole
yes.
experience just kind of just goes downhill. So
Just throw the pot away. Just throw it away.
absolutely no, that totally makes sense. And I think that's a testament to you two as to, you know, how you run your operations, how you run your team, because you're not just thinking about the customer, because you are thinking about the customer, but you're thinking about the entire experience. And the entire experience involves the customer, their guests, as well as yourselves and your team. So I think that's a testament to you two, like just you're willing to have people sit out if they're not feeling well, as opposed to like we're just gonna push through this and just fake it till we make it, and then there you go. Like no,
Yes.
because you know it doesn't work.
Nope. You got to do all things with genuine heart.
Yeah.
With a genuine heart.
You gotta do things with a genuine heart. Yes, and I think that the language of food. I think. Oh gosh, I'm getting goosebumps when I think about this. I think in a way, the language of food is the language of the heart.
Yes.
Totally.
Ah,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Because you have to, your energy just goes into it. I don't, it's that thing. It's like when you see someone cooking and whether that's in their home or whatever the case may be, you see their energy and
Mhm,
you vibe off of that. That's also
mhm.
why we play music when we cook, because that music gets you in a rhythm and it just brings you to a different place, and then everybody in the house can get the music going, and that's why everybody has so much fun at cookouts, and they have so much fun at the luau's and the barbecues. Every culture has a different type of ceremonial music playing, cooking, eating type of situation because it's a community event and it brings the community together. You're on chopping, you're on sauce, you're on meat, you're on this. It brings that whole community together. And we want to continue to have that. And it's automatically in your spirit. So we want to continue to have that and continue to do that. And that's what we want with our food, with everything we do, but especially with that food.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Do you feel like when you are making food for your clients, do you feel like you're making food that is communicating on behalf of the clients to their guests? Or are you making food that's communicating who you are on behalf of you to their guests and to the clients?
It's
Does that make
both.
sense? Oh, it's
It's
both. Okay.
actually both. So
Right.
this is why we like to have communication with our client, and why we don't have set menus per se. We say it's
Mhm.
a unique experience, and we love doing this, especially with our brides, because
Mhm.
and our, or should I say, our couples, because what we do is we talk to you and we say, what is your culinary vision?
Yeah.
Because we don't do flowers per se. We're not your decor. We're the ones that when the plate is in front of your guests and they look at it
Mhm.
and they taste it, they want to feel the love. They want to feel not just the love from the couple for weddings, but the love from the boss for his staff. The reason why they hired us, or we do a lot of heart work where, especially during COVID time, where someone like a supervisor will feed their staff who might have been furloughed. So they contact us and we ask them, well, what do you want us to feed them? Is it a family? Is it a single person? Or is there someone sick? Or we do something called a welcome baby program where it's a new parent, or a new parent because maybe they have this their first child, or because this is their fourth child. But it's a new parent and they're overwhelmed. And so we provide them with pans of food to let them know that their community loves them and that we're here for them. So it's our way of giving back to the community, but our way of really transcending through that message that you couldn't say, that is more than just a card, but allowing it to nourish your body. So that's why we say we want to reintroduce you to your palate, because we don't want you to just eat because it's like, I have to get protein in. No,
Mhm.
we want you to eat and we want you to say, I take it that
Yeah.
much. Or what they say, that she put her foot in that meal. She put her foot in that. That's where you know that food is just so doggone good.
Yes.
That's what we want you to feel. We want you to know that when such and such ordered this, made this menu, they made this menu with you in mind. You know,
Yeah.
one of the things I
Mhm.
love, we did a Haitian Southern wedding, and
Ooh.
yeah, it was so funny because it was like the groom's family was Haitian and the bride's family was Southern, like Southern.
Interesting. Wow.
And so we were able to introduce the family to each other on a palate level.
You introduced the family to each other on the plate.
Yes, that's like one member of the family. We did a rice dish for them. Was it a rice dish? No,
No, the
the
avocado.
avocado dish. That's what it
The
was.
plantain
The plantain
cups.
Okay.
cup, and it had avocado. And she was so
Oh.
impressed that it wasn't guacamole. And
Hmm.
I said, well, ma'am, you're Haitian. You don't eat, that's not, you eat avocado. It's a different taste. And it was
Yeah.
cool because then the Southern side got to see the difference between guacamole and avocado, you know? And so it really was cool to mix those two together. Um, that's what we want to do with our food. We really do want to tell a story with our food that is not just from the client, but also from us and our interpretation, indulgent interpretation on the food.
That's amazing. And I really resonate with the story you just talked about with just meeting two cultures together. You know, I'm Chinese American, and so we go when it comes to weddings in our family, it's either, and when I mean weddings in our family, I mean like when someone is Chinese and the other person is white in this case, or any other ethnicity. Usually it's, I don't know why my family does this. They pick one or the other. They say we're
Yeah,
either gonna do all Chinese or all the other one. And the I just remember one time I went to this one wedding on this ship. It was a beautiful ship, and it
yes.
was a very Americanized wedding, which is fine. Um, and the one thing they had was Asian, was they just brought out a random thing of white rice, and it was more like, like the, not even like the Asian rice, like the kind of rice that is
It was
definitely
Uncle
not Asian
Ben's.
rice. Yes, yes. And so it was like, this is just really random. I think they're trying here. They're really,
Yes.
but it was definitely what you were talking about with how you helped your clients to bring their families together. Like I wish I could see that more often in weddings. I think a lot of people
Yes.
try, but the way that you just talked about that sounds perfect. That sounds beautiful. That sounds like how it always should be. So I'm
Yes.
getting goosebumps from hearing all this. Like, you get it. This is so cool. So I have only a couple more questions for you. One is, can you can you explain to our audience, because you're the one that showed me this term, was bougie. Can you just define what being bougie or what bougie is for the audience?
Yeah,
Okay.
you were funny when you found out about bougie. You was like, what is bougie?
Okay, so oh my gosh, it's so comedy.
Oh my God.
So it's being extra fancy.
There we go.
So I love it because we do say we bougie, and we had a very good friend. She unfortunately passed recently, Dr. G, and she used to say, yes, that's right, darling, I'm bourgeoisie.
Yes, yes.
Like, oh,
Oh.
yes, I love it. But we really want to bring high end food to be more approachable. So we
Uh-huh.
do beautiful, but in the form of flavor. So everybody, when you think of a high end restaurant, you think of they put one pea on your plate, one piece of carrot that has been cut into a million thousand pieces on your
Yeah.
plate, and we're like, no, 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 no. High-end food is really about that flavor. If you hear a high-end chef talk about their food, they talk about the flavor and that experience that you get once it gets on your tongue. And that's what we want to do as well. So we'll do like with our barbecue sauce line that's coming out, or with indulgent essential spices. If we tell you that there are 18 different flavors in here, everything different seasonings, they all play beautifully, but we tell you that there's cumin and turmeric and black sea salt in it. We want you to taste that so that you understand that you just feel fancy, you feel bougie,
Yes.
you feel real bougie when you eat this.
And also with the experience that we bring, we want that bougie client to hire us because we
Ah,
are going to give you that experience. We're just not going to
yes.
give you full tasting food. We're also going to give you the experience of pampering you from start to finish.
Start to finish.
You know, we're going to coddle you. We're going to show you that we love your interests and we love your guests. And, you know, what do you need? We are here to serve you. We're all about service.
Yes.
Um,
And coddling and spoiling are two different things. And being bougie and stuck up are different things.
Yes.
It's a just a different mindset. And it might be a fine line for some people, but it's a different
No, thank you for making that distinction. I thank you for making that.
Yes.
It sounds like, being bougie is something to be proud of, and then
Yes,
being stuck up is not so much to be something to be proud of.
not
So
so much. Not
yes,
so much.
absolutely. So just to wrap things up, food is the language of the heart, and it's the language of community, of relationships, of
Yes.
culture,
yes,
bringing people together. Yes, is a
Yes,
complete
is.
love language,
yes.
and spiritual.
Yes.
So ladies, it's been a pleasure to have you on with me. And before I let you go, please tell the audience how they can reach you if they wanted to
Wow.
talk to you
So
or get in contact with you for whatever reason.
definitely
Big business.
reach out to us. So
Amy has a direct line. So
yes,
you can
yes.
always contact Amy and she'll give you
We can just go like
everything.
this and we'll be like, yes,
Recorded.
Amy.
Yes,
Yes, what would you need from us? You can reach us on social media. So, of course, we're on all social media platforms. We are Indulge Catering LLC, which is very distinct. But on social media, we are Indulge Catering NC, and that is on Facebook and Instagram. Please make sure you
Yeah.
like, follow, and share our page. We are also on YouTube, where you can see videos from previous cooking shows that we do called Cooking at Home with Queen and Jay, which will give you a really cool tutorial. We're also on LinkedIn. And of course, you can go to our website, which is indulge-catering.com. You can purchase our spices, indulgent essential spices. We have our everything indulgent blend, which is a multi-purpose blend, as well as our jerk seasoning line. And we're coming out with a new flavor called Golden Adobo, which is a turmeric spiced adobo that is absolutely amazing and dynamic. order some food if you're local here in the Durham area. We do deliveries, but also please reach out to us. We love to hear from people. We love to hear about your food questions, and we love for you to join us on this journey as we become spice purveyors and really become your next pantry or kitchen staple with our pipeline. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. And as they were saying, I am a direct line, so if you also would like to just get in contact with them, you can email me at amy@amylancy.com. I think I'm gonna get a bunch of emails now, like we want to talk to them. But anyways, that's okay. I can be their secretary. Willing to do that. But y'all have.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to say, as the world opens up, we are a traveling chef and full service caterer. So we do specialize in university and corporate catering, but we also do intimate events. So please contact us. And as we open up our calendar, as we book out for 2021 and 2022, we look forward to traveling, especially back to Temecula and to California.
Yeah.
You know, me too. We're going to make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. That's it for the Language of Food. Tune in for more episodes of the Language of series. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Bye.